I feel the gravity pull and it keeps me away. I would rather be here, lonely in space. I've made up my mind, I just wanna be free. I live my own life in a new galaxy. I wanna be weightless in the silence of the night sky. I wanna free fall into nothing at all. I'm taking the moment, starting all over. I wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy. Memories fade, it's easing my mind. And I can finally breathe when I'm closing my eyes. I never realized what I just could do, but now I know I'm better off without you. I wanna be weightless in the silence of the night sky. I wanna free fall into nothing. Taking the moment, starting all over. I wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy. I feel the gravity pull and it keeps me away. I would rather be here, lonely in space. I've made up my mind, I just wanna be free. I live my own life in a new galaxy. I wanna be weightless in the silence of the night sky. I wanna free fall into nothing at all. I'm taking the moment, starting all over. I wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy. Memories fade, it's easing my mind. And I can finally breathe when I'm closing my eyes. I never realized what I lost in the silence of the night sky. I wanna free fall into nothing at all. I'm taking the moment, starting all over. I wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy. I feel the gravity pull and it keeps me away. I would rather be here, lonely in space. I've made up my mind, I just wanna be free. I live my own life in a new galaxy. I wanna be weightless in the silence of the night sky. I wanna free fall into nothing at all. I'm taking the moment, starting all over. I wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy. Memories fade, it's easing my mind, and I can finally breathe when I'm closing my eyes. I never realized what I just could do, but now I know I'm better off without you. I wanna be weightless in the silence of the night sky. I wanna free fall into nothing. I'm taking the moment, starting all over. I wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy.
And bing bong. I'm gonna let my stream delay catch up for me. Make sure I got audio and whatnot you heard. And bing bong. There we go. Okay. So we have audio. And we also have the specs being monitored as I stream. It is drastically less hot in this room than it was yesterday. So, if you are currently getting into the stream here, we are doing the weekly challenge. So yesterday, oh, I dropped from 51st to 54th in the past like 10 minutes, okay. So yeah, oh, Grim got up to second. So if you were in the stream last night, you would know I got into a session with Grim, and I wonder if Shannon made it up here. I actually don't know these people. I just happen to see a lot of Piedmont got up into 32nd. He was in the first attempt. Uh, let's see. So there's this like thing that happens whenever I play online. I end up with like the same people over and over again. So that's how I know uh, some of these names, like Piedmont Pine. He was the other person that survived, and me and him both kind of agreed at one point that we screwed up by leaving the first initial tornado. I don't see Shannon. So it kind of has me thinking that she might actually be friends with Grim. Grim is doing an off-road strategy, which has been like extremely overpowered. And I'm also kind of looking here to see. So to be in the top 50%, we need to be over 18. We are in the top 25%, so that's good. But I kind of got robbed yesterday. I want to say kind of got robbed, because I did get my points after the game crashed. And the game did not fully crash, I got soft locked. And if I had to guess, it's because I was overheating. Today I actually replaced my cooler with an air cooler. So I had an AIO liquid cooler. It's been in this build, so this is Frostbite 2. It's been in this build since I built the computer back in 2021. And I found out recently that AIOs only have about a 3 to 5 year life expectancy. And whenever I pulled it out earlier today, I decided to shake it, and about half of the cooling liquid is gone. So maybe I'll do a stream at some point, pull out the face cam, cut open the lines, and see how much fluid is in there. And also see what the fluid looks like, just because I know this stuff kind of deteriorates over time. It's probably going to look all nasty. But yeah, currently I am watching Specky, and we are at 55 degrees Celsius. Yes, we're not putting it under a heavy load, but we are using stream software. We have OBS open, which is my stream software. We got Outbrk open. Normally by now I'd be in the 60s, so yeah. And my room is also not 80 degrees already. But yeah, whenever I got soft locked, I ended a stream. I probably shouldn't have ended a stream. When I did, I probably should have waited. But after I ended stream, I decided to reopen the game just to see where I stood on the leaderboards and if it saved my progress, and it did. So I went from like 150th roughly place up to, I think I was like 38th or something like that. But now I'm 54th, so I've got to fix that. And I probably would have been higher up if I had actually made it to the end of the scenario, but I didn't. So my ground became a black hole. I lost trees. The clouds disappeared and then became grass. And then as a gamer, I broke the #1 golden rule and touched grass. I fell through the map, got yeeted off into Albuquerque, New Mexico. I sent a tow truck. Tow truck stole my car. It was a whole mess. It was an absolute mess. Hope y'all enjoyed the shorts from that. I even made a stream highlights video just for that reason. So yeah, we're going to sit here, wait for a match. We're going to do this at least one time, because I at least want to make it to the end of this scenario. I know a couple of areas where I can tweak where I put my probe, and it should actually give us a much better overall score, so we should make it back in the top 50 really easy. We could probably crack the top 30 if we make it to the end of the scenario. And if Emmanuel jumps in here, I didn't forget you, my new Nigerian friend. Literally the reason why I am doing this stream tonight is because I told him that I would stream again. Because I was kind of like, oh, we found a match already, cool. That was kind of disgruntled and distraught at the same time, and also like trying to prevent myself from having a stroke or turning my computer into a nuclear reactor. Judging by the temperature around here and the ambient temperature, I made the right call. Give me my clouds back. Give me my clouds back. We ain't doing this again. What's funny is I did not see Draco in the on the leaderboard. That is the only person that I've ever seen actually like get in a tornado in the Dominator and die. There's a video on my YouTube channel from like a month or two ago where he actually got us killed. Okay, so Westport, we're in Bakersville. We have a lot of time. Is that who I think it is? Okay, no, I don't know this guy. That's a first. What he's doing, I do not know. I don't trust anybody in a Dominator. Okay, so first things first, I need to get to Westport. I need to get on the interstate and I need to drive south. And I know anybody in here is like, why do you already know this scenario? It's because with the weekly challenges, we play the same scenario over and over. The scenarios themselves, I think some of them are created specifically for the weekly challenge, and then others are just reused or modified versions of the other ones. I don't fully know on that side of things. But we play the same scenario all week, and people pretty much have to build their strategies and whatnot. I'm assuming that was the goal with that. I really did not want to hit that sign because it's probably solid. But yeah, it's the same scenario over and over again. It rotates the spawn point, which has me thinking that that's a thing that goes on in the normal scenarios as well, where it gives you a different spawn point each time. But same scenario, and as you go, you kind of build your strategy. So my original intention was to play it once, figure out where I need to be, and then modify it from there. So I could play the same scenario 2 to 3 times and build a solid run. Go ahead and unlock my doors. I don't think it really matters if I unlock my doors or not. I think it just means that other people can't get in. I want to be towards... I want to be in the top 25 to 10%. Just because that's where you get... I mean, it's an easier to achieve goal than getting top spot, but whenever the weekly challenge is all tallied up and everything is finalized, then you end up making like a solid amount of money. So in a normal scenario that you don't know, you risk making, you know, less than $10,000. But doing it this way, you're guaranteed. So right now the community participation bonus is already at $10,000. So you get $10,000 on top of your top score. So whatever your best score is, you gain that as well, on top of your placement bonus, if that makes sense. So essentially, I'm currently looking at about $65,000 just for doing this scenario 3 times. Which, compared to the other scenarios in this game, or the other game modes, this is more low risk, high reward compared to high risk, low reward. Or I guess technically it'd be high risk, varying reward. Because there are some scenarios on this game where it's just like Why did I waste my time? But this scenario, I know where the initial tornado spawns, I know where they start to dissipate, I know where they recycle up to a certain point, and then I know after the initial tornado is over, there's a second tornado I can go after and get possibly another probe hit on, but I know I can at least get the storm reports and the pictures, which is more points. Like, I have the potential to turn this into a $35,000 to $45,000 run if I do this right. Hopefully there's nothing in the median here. So it's hard to see right now, but that overpass up there, that's where I need to be. So that overpass, there's a light pole somewhere around here, right? I might have passed the light pole. This light pole. No? That's a sign. Okay. Okay. So somewhere around here is a light pole. I need to know where that light pole is. There's that one. Maybe that's the one, but I feel like it's on the left side. Okay, I'm not seeing a light pole. So I'm going to judge it based on the light pole in the median. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so where's my funnel? It says there's a funnel cloud. Don't see it, but it says it's there. But there it is. So we're gonna get that spot. Yeah, I'm not seeing a single light pole down there, so I think I'm in the right spot. So I'm going to drop a probe down here. Actually, I'm going to put it more like here, I think. Try to get as close to the center of this thing as I can. And once we get our probe data, we have to blast through Westport. Okay, so on the map, I need to be, I'm going to say here this time. Because I was very, very close to it last time. We're going to get optimal. Dope. I wonder if it's the sign that it actually hits now. We might have to play this a second time tonight. Because that does look more like the damage that I recall. We're about to find out. So far, the sign is surviving. 107, 287 at 107. Okay, so we were close. I think we went a little too far north on that one. So we need to be like not far away. Oh. Yep, there's the light pole I was looking for. Okay, so in line with that light pole is ideal. Another optimal. Get in the car. Go, go, go. Okay, and now we've got like maybe a 5 to 10 second buffer of what we can actually spend. So if I wreck the car, the next pro pit is going to be botched badly. What is this RFD? I really hope we don't crash again. That'd be terrible. Don't hit that pole. Whatever I do, don't hit that pole. And I am trying to get more people to actually like play this with me. No, I bought Reese the game. 46-13. Yeah, I could have done better on that one. If I was closer to that light pole, I think we would have been in the money on that one. But I bought Reese this game, and he just hasn't had a chance to crack it open whenever I'm on. Need to try to get more in tune with his schedule. Okay. So road 0, I need to go to road 2. Here's road 1. Road 2. Okay, so last time we kind of prematurely went to about here. So we need to be more like here, I think. I'm gonna say like right here. We're at least gonna be closer than we were last night. Like a direct hit would be awesome. And I'm also not gonna stress it either just because of the fact that at this point this is a weak tornado. Pretty sure I'm safe here. Right, data should be starting. We are within 100 feet. We're in direct hit. Perfect. 109 mile an hour. I am impressed with myself on that one. And it's already dissipated. Cool. Okay. So now, I'm going to redo something from the first attempt. So I messed this up in the second attempt, but it really didn't matter. I'm just gonna start doing that every time I pass somebody. Oh. So I want to say that I need to be like in this general vicinity. I want to say that where it starts, there's a farmhouse, which there's one here, but I think there was a different farm. In fact, I'm probably going to go up an extra road here just to be safe. Yeah, this is the intersection here. That farmstead is familiar. Because the road I'm going to need is going to be up there. So it'd be like right in this vicinity there. Managed to get a 0-foot intercept on that last one.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Well, I got right to it, and I was going in it, and it just disappeared.
Yeah, that one dissipates right as it goes across that road. I talk to strangers a lot. I think it's funny that I talk to strangers while I'm doing a storm chasing game. I've willingly got in the car with strangers while I was in Joplin, Missouri.
It should be coming down pretty soon.
Yeah, this one takes like 2 or 3 minutes. I know this one you can see it before it actually makes it reportable.
Oh, okay.
So somewhere in here we're going to get a funnel cloud. There it is. Until I've done this more than once. So the thing about it is he actually has the ability to get it twice, just having the Dominator. Me, I have to be very strategic about where I do my probes. Just because I have terrible acceleration and terrible off-road capabilities. Another optimal. Okay, so last time I attempted between these two, I am definitely going to come more like over here-ish, I think. Yeah, I'm going to line it up with the... Let's see, we got the first kink. Let's do the second kink this time. Second kink and the sprinkler. Here's where things are going to get sketchy. because I have to be like pretty much perfect on this if I want to get the second intercept on this. Like, it's not impossible, it's just kind of hard to do. Because I have to literally let the storm pass and then try to get somewhere in that notch right there. I think is where it's gonna, yeah, that looks pretty direct. In fact, I could probably back up and kind of, you know, picture whore here. Just come in a little bit sooner. There we go. So let's see how close we get on this one. All right. Got it down to 230s. 117 mile an hour, that's not too bad. Question is, like, north or south of it? It's kind of looking like I might have been north of it. Yeah, I pre-jacked. Okay. So now I know if I make another attempt tonight to do it just before the sprinklers. Now here's the part where things can go wrong. Not only can things go wrong, things can go really, really wrong. Because I pretty much have to time this where I am not in danger while I'm going by it, and then I have to be perfect whenever I make this this turn up here. It's not going to be a direct probe hit either, which I might have already screwed that. Okay, well, let's go off-road a touch. Oh, it's still uploading the data. Okay. Alright, so we were a little too late picking up the probe, so we need to do it on the left side of the road, I think. I think that would make or break this. But I also do need to get gas. But so far, I think our score is going to be better than our previous attempt, at the least. Pretty sure this takes us to Prairie Hills. Yeah. Damn, look at that Sidewinder. A good picture. Not bad, not bad. So, I mean, this storm's about to lift as well, I believe. But getting gas here in Prairie Hills is what's going to line us up to get one, possibly two more probes as long as the game doesn't break again. So I think I had it in the last attempt, but the game broke. The game broke and then I broke, and it was just not a good time. And I also know I can get a much better probe hit this time on the next probe. Really, it just comes down to how far am I willing to go for a leaderboard here. That's wild. Right now we're running at Still running at 56 Celsius under load. Normally I would have been in like this high 60s, low 70s. Sirens going off here. We're going to get a full tank. Nice, got an extra call out. Said first report, but I'm pretty sure that's still the same storm. He's going after it. He needs gas. I don't think he stopped here. Go, 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 go. So I believe, yes. About here-ish. So it appears that it might be roping out. If I could get a quick little spam probe on it, that'd be awesome. There have been multiple injuries. Thing's still on the ground. Free optimal picture. Take it. It just dissipated. Cool. I feel like there's a second probe I got on this thing too now I think about it. So I could possibly get 3 probes. So another one is going to form around here. And I need to be ready because that is going to be our next intercept point. Get a little further down here because get it whenever it's at a stronger point if I can help it. Get a stronger point, have a flatter escape route. We have 9 pictures left available. Okay. Pretty sure something forms right around here. I think it just forms and lowers like right there on the other side of the street. So if I'm here, I can at least get it directly after it touches down. It might not be the best data, but it'll be something. I was speaking and I was muted. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know how long I've been muted for. Been over here rambling to myself. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna get any probe data off of that. But as I was saying, yeah, your main goal here is gathering probe data. You still get paid for pictures and doing the storm spotting and whatnot, but your main moneymaker is the probe data. And this specific game mode, yeah, I needed to blast like a lot further south on that one. Yeah, I don't know when I muted myself. I could have just bumped the button for all I know. Yeah, I definitely needed to go further south on that one. Okay. So now I need to be in like that general vicinity. Oh, nope, not that button. Oh yeah, I can get another spot, I think. But see, like that right there, me actually spotting, that right there is worth like 100 or 200 bucks or something like that. You get paid for your activity on the Chaser network. You get paid for your pictures, which you get very varied pay for the ranking of the pictures. But the main money maker is the probes. Like the better probe data you can get, and the more probe data you can get, the more money you walk away with. And in the weekly challenges, it replays the same scenario, so normally they're randomized. So as you do more and more scenarios, well, in the weekly challenge, you pretty much just learn the scenario until you can finally maximize your points. And it takes your highest total and puts you on the leaderboard. And there's like a percentile bonus. So if I'm in like the top 25%, the top 10%, or even the highest score, I make more money. So I don't see the money from every chase that I do like I normally would, but the bonus that you get on top of the community participation bonus that it gives you, it pretty much pays for itself. So you'd get, if you can make a good solid score in 2 to 3 runs, you pretty much make more money than what you would have otherwise. If that makes sense. Oh my god, it's so nice. My room is so much colder now. This thing just is not blasting heat. Oh, I'm feeling the exhaust come out of the computer and it's not hot. It's like actually like room temperature. It's nice. I am going to not take the interstate this time. I am going to hit the flat road. Going to try a slightly different strategy. Yes. So you have quick chase, which is your basic storm chase with random people. And then you have the weekly challenge where it's still multiplayer, and this specific game mode is, see, that guy disconnected, he's stupid. But yes, the multiplayer, there's 2 current multiplayer modes to my knowledge. There's your normal chasing mode, and then there is the weekly challenge. And the weekly challenge, like I said, is you're just trying to run the same scenario over and over again and try to maximize your score. Some people do it like once or twice and they're like, oh, I didn't get paid, so I don't want to do it again. So in my eyes, I can do this 2 to 3 times, figure out the strategy of it, and then maximize my end goal profit. I feel like this one actually does finally cross over the road, so I'm just going to try to go for a single intercept on it. Even though I don't see it yet, it's probably way off in the distance. It is. Yeah, it's very fun. This game mode here is more competitive. The rest of the game is pretty much it's intended for hobbyists and people who just kind of want to in-game like a grindy game. Because you could literally be playing. So I have, I think, 60 to 70 hours. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think I'm pushing 60 or 70 hours in game, and I have not gotten the best vehicle yet, which currently is the Dominator. But I am hoping that in the near future they're going to finally release the TIV. I have one friend who I've bought it for. I've got other friends who I might buy it for. But as for the community, like, really, you can just pop in and talk to people. Like, most of the people are pretty friendly. Like, there's competition, but it's passive competition, so nobody's just, like, on each other like they would be in a shooter game or anything. Okay. So I think this is actually the last tornado of this specific scenario. I don't know if I'll actually do the weekly challenge again, just because I do need to make money. So I'm on a grind because I know that the developers are working on bringing the TIV 2 from the Storm Chasers series. Or I guess technically now it's livestormchasers.net. So the vehicle that was used to make the Tornado IMAX film, they're bringing that in, and everybody in the game so far has the Dominator, and I don't want the Dominator. I want the TIV, just because it's going to be more of a unique one to find. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I can get probe data off of this. If I do, I'm up there. If I get probe data off of this, I am Gucci. But ultimately, I want to do some role-playing with other people. We're getting probe data. '89 at 300-ish feet. Okay. That's not bad. Might be able to try to probe it again, depending on where it's going. Last picture, and it's an optimal. Unfortunately, no, not at the moment. I don't know if they plan on changing the way the time works. And it's not that it's nighttime, it's just very stormy. I have been wanting to go back through my settings on this one and kind of brighten it back up. I know it's very dark for you. It's even worse whenever I make shorts, though. Like, you can barely see anything until the lightning hits, but it's how it is whenever you're really storm chasing, so at least they're realistic on that side. Okay, so we're gonna take a risk. Might be a dumb idea. Might be a dumb idea. Yeah, it was a dumb idea. They just made a hard north turn. Oh yeah, I don't have any more camera. Okay, so I got a 3,000 point probe. Yeah, whenever I get out of this match, because I think that was the last storm of this. I forget the size. I think it's under 30 if I remember correctly. It's not super demanding. The biggest thing right now is just being able to actually run the game. That one pretty much crosses right at the interstate. Okay. So it's not super demanding, but the hardware requirements are kind of up there just because of how big the map is, and plus you're constantly doing updates, so occasionally they'll sometimes miss script something, and it just makes the game work a lot harder than it should. Because that was actually a very big problem in the 0.2 version of the game. I think I mentioned it last night. There was a point where the game was unplayable for me. It's like I got a 12 gigabyte graphics card in this thing, and this game would not run. It would run for like 2 minutes and then crash. A lot of it had to do with the weather system that they were using, which they are redoing. So the future specs of the game, that's going to be like the real deciding factor. Extend the same warning? No, there's a second. So there's a second storm in Prairie Hills. Either way, I think that this run is better than the last run, by far. Okay, that storm already dissipated. Might actually sit around and just kind of go idle for a minute just to see what that storm over there does, because it's possible that going after that storm there is actually a decoy from the devs. So if there's like a strong velocity signature on that thing, it'd be easier to run that first alley and then go all the way back. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do with this game once they do the next few. There's like 2 big updates I'm waiting for, I think. So there's going to be the weather model update, and then the TIV 2, which I don't know if they're going to do it at the same time or not. That's a pretty big velocity couplet there. It's not endless, but it takes... So in the car that I have now, it takes a solid 5 to 10 minutes to go from one side of the map all the way to the other. I think the drivable scale of the map is like... I mean, it feels like it's like 20 miles wide. Like, it's a big map. So if I were to go to that storm right over there, and I'm over here, it would probably take me what feels like 3 to 5 minutes. But it's also like the game scale too. So essentially it's probably in scale about the same size as like one of the original GTA games. So like probably GTA Vice City. Like that's probably the most comparable one. I'm just kind of watching this system here because it looked like it had a quick tornado. Nothing too crazy. So this was probably the right call. And if I had to guess, the scenario is about to end. And this is more investigative here. waiting for this last pass to see if anything really does, like, intensify. Now, I don't know what their plans are for any future map expansions, but I would assume that they would actually attempt it. There's a velocity couplet, or signature at least. The only thing that tells me that is that little green hook coming out, because that right there is the transition line for the radar at the current moment. So a little bit of a storm chaser knowledge here. I'm also not reading chat as fast as I was last night either. That might be more on me. But yeah, a little bit of a storm chaser knowledge here. So the green is going towards the radar, red is going away from a radar. So as it reaches the radar, you're actually able to tell that the winds are going, chase ends in 5 minutes. But you can actually tell that the winds are actually going northeast. But whenever you have this here, just beyond that line, that is circulation in the air. So we're going to leave. What? What is this? Confirm? Okay, cool. And we got $46,000. So we are back on the leaderboard. Back on the leaderboard. What was the highest winds? 157 miles an hour, so I think that's like 250 kilometers an hour, roughly. Now what that little glitch was there, I don't know. They've done some pretty interesting things with this game. Like there's been a lot of progress. I had high hopes for the Storm Chasers game, but that dude's pretty much gone silent. I haven't heard an update on that game in like 2 years. This one, they do a monthly developer outlook. Okay, claim my free $4,000 there. Now I'm curious to see where we're at. Survey says we are in the top 30. Yeah. Not only are we in the top 30, we're in the top 25%. We're in the top 10%. How about that? That is exactly where I wanted to be. Catching up on some messages real quick. I am number 28. Right there. So I definitely bettered my score. And I bettered my temperatures too. We only made it to 53 degrees. Yeah. Discord is going off right now. So yeah, estimated total rewards, $101,000 estimated. That's ridiculous. There's still 4 days for somebody to knock me off the leaderboard, but I'm still probably going to be in the top 25%. Grim is still second. Yeah, much appreciated, because I was like, I want to say I was like 42nd or 43rd off of last night's run. I actually ran with this guy last night as well. He's up in 33rd. So I definitely bettered my score. Not only that, but if I stay where I'm at and 10 to 20 more people participate, we're going to get even more money. So that is a hail guard. That is a hail guard. I got tired of having my windshield break, so we'll go back to the garage. So there's a few things that you can get for it. So I've got a mesonet, so I can actually get live wind speeds. It helps out whenever I'm doing things like if I'm getting too close to a tornado, I can I can at least see it visually. It'll give me a reading. So this car right here, I've taken 200 mile per hour gusts in. It was very hard to drive it. I almost died, but that little thing up there with the spinny little wheel, it's my little wind gauge. So about 150, 200 range, that's when things get sketchy. Anything beyond that, I'm dead. This right here just prevents my windows and my windshield from shattering during the whenever I hit hail. I have a light bar hidden up here. It also says, where is it? So my hail guard, and they've got different things too. You can get a whole cage, you can get plexiglass panels. Everything kind of does the same thing. My little weather stations, you get the full-size weather stations. See, that's just a weather station. These are mesonets. So they have, they really don't do anything different in game, but in real life they would actually have like more barometric pressure readings, things like that. Nerd stuff. They got light bars. You get the warning lights, a little flasher, the antenna. So normally you have to just be watching your little radar for the warnings to pop up, but with just having an antenna, it gets pushed through to your chat. Got a laptop so I can see the radar. Little GoPro, because why not? Got a bobbly head. Yeah. So originally I was going to grind out and get the Dominator, because Tornado Tank, but knowing that the TIV 2 is coming, why would I do that? When Speckle starts playing again, I really want to get him in this. He's a risky guy. He wants to touch it. Eventually I want to try to get something like that or that, so new people coming in, we can at least like, we can get them close to a tornado and they can maybe get a probe hit or something like that, but yeah, I think it's a Windows Vista. But yeah, it's one of the things I'd like to do, like adding roleplay into the game, because I mean we could do it with this too, but having a main intercept vehicle, an off-road intercept vehicle / recon vehicle, and then the vehicle that is kind of far away, just enough to where like maybe people could get their first probe data, but also far enough away to where we're just not killing people. That would be bad. I'd feel bad. Just take people into tornadoes and let them get lofted. Fun time. So now, want to make some money. So we're going to quick chase, and it's going to give us a random scenario now. So we're not going to be replaying the same thing for 2 days straight. So far, Emmanuel, you've only seen a strategic me. Now we're about to get risky me. This is where the party begins. And I like to party. Yeah, sometimes it does take a while to load into a match. Quick chase is usually a lot more forgiving than the weekly challenges. I've actually had it. I was doing a video kind of proving the concept of how the whole quick match or the weekly challenge is intended to work, where you go back and just repeatedly do it and fix parts of your run. So I did 2 back-to-back matches, and because the guy I was chasing with got lofted by a tornado, probably Draco, uh, apparently that happens. He's not even on the leaderboard. It kills me. The dude has a Dominator 3, and I've seen it the 3 times that I can specifically remember chasing with him. He's either completely missed a storm, or he has been lofted in the Dominator. And one of the times I was riding with him when he got lofted in the Dominator. There's a video on my channel somewhere about Outbrk. It's like the only Outbrk video I've done that is under 10 minutes. Not only that, he locked the door on me. He left me outside in a tornado, and I had to chase on foot for like 30 seconds. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Trying to tornado chase over here playing tornado tag. Hide and seek. I'm gonna grab its tail. They hate it when you do that. We have a populated lobby here. Any familiar faces? That is the question. So that's a weighted question because the map is based on the Midwest. So in the United States, the Midwest is mostly just like farm plots for like it could be square miles, like 10 to 20 square miles plus of just farm plots, and then like a little town here, a little town there. I actually went trucking 2 years ago. Going through Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, like the remote areas, it's boring. Like you get bored just driving. You're over there trying to look at things and there's nothing to look at. You have grass, you have dirt, you have the road, and then windmills. Ooh. Dude's got a pink pony. What's terrifying is going through there at night because you're just driving and then you kind of see... What? What you breaking over here? Gonna back into me. Am I going the right way? No. Well, actually, there's a dirt road around here, ain't there? Yeah, okay, I'll take the dirt road. Now, it would be different if they would have, like, 1 or 2, like, bigger areas. Not necessarily, like, a giant town or city, but, like, you know, like, an area that's got, like, a somewhat suburban area. I should probably turn my lights on. I can't see anything. There we go. Now I can see. Like 1 or 2 big towns would be cool. The only issue with that is I have seen this specific town actually get a direct hit by a tornado. And the amount of lag that the debris caused, the debris went up and it did not come back down. It stayed in the air. Like the game could not process that yet. Yes, Quick Chase is multiplayer. Weekly Challenges is multiplayer, but because people are constantly pushing themselves to the limits, the Weekly Chase is like... you end up with less populated sessions, just because it's more kind of stacked, whereas this, people are actually trying to get instant money rather than compete for money. So Quick Chase, you're bound to get at least 4 to 6 people every time. So I think the screen told me 6 people this go around. I used to not do online, just because it'd be fast loading, everything like that, but I've been getting better about communicating with people around here and just interacting with players. I try not to, just because you never know what to expect out of people. It's like the same way with iRacing. It's one of the bigger reasons why I don't stream iRacing, just because, I mean, I'm trying to keep my YouTube channel in good standings at any given time. I know I swear a lot as it is, so I'm pushing it. The live streams I try to be a little bit more relaxed about. But it all comes down to just like moderation, really. Like if I keep myself from swearing, other people can keep themselves from swearing. iRacing has not been that way recently. I mean, I can edit out a few bad words, that ain't a problem, but live stream I can't do that. Is that debris I'm seeing, or is that a rock? Could be a rock. The rain used to not be this visually impairing. But one of the updates they decided to make the... That is debris. Got a tornado over there. We got us a nader. It's way out there, but still a tornado nonetheless. So I am in the warning now. So right now it is 8:18. Usually my streams will last about 2 hours. I think the longest I've gone is like 4.5 for a GTA stream. The only problem with this game is I don't want to get burned out with it. Like, it's very easy to turn a hobby into work, just from past experiences. And plus I know tomorrow I'm going to have to do a lot of, yeah. Yeah, Emmanuel is in Nigeria, so he's like on the other side of the world. So this one just extended. Everybody is going off-road. But yeah, it's one of those, like, for me currently, just because I stream on YouTube and I'm still not monetized or anything like that, it's hard for me to justify going too far with my live streams. Like, I'm still trying to keep it fun, but I'm also trying to build an audience as well. I know as more people start popping in, and I do make the gradual shift over to Twitch. So I'll never stop streaming on YouTube, by the way. So I don't know if you do the Twitch thing or not, but eventually I'll be doing both. Just to have two different audiences. I think I missed it. I think I might have missed it. Sometimes it is difficult to gauge these things. Okay, so remember how I said I like to party? We're about to party. We are about to party. Ouch. Backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up. It's getting closer. Backing up, backing up, backing up. I do. Me and her actually used to work together at a sandwich shop. She was a multiple store manager. I was a general manager and maintenance. Okay, so we got probe data, yay. It's only a 4,000 point probe, but I was still in the danger zone. Over here shopping at Party City. That is hail. So it is very, very common and honestly like expected that with a tornado, the updrafts and the height of the clouds and everything like that, hail is usually expected and also like usually record setting on like very strong storms. There was a tornado that was it started in Indiana and moved into Illinois or vice versa. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was actually tracking the storm from Florida via my radar, and the storm actually at one point produced a hailstone that was recorded at 5.7 inches, I believe. So a 5.7 inch hailstone fell out of the sky. I can actually show a visual representation. So the pinks and the dark purples, that is generally your hail core. That is where the updrafts are the strongest. Oh, that's a hole. Okay, we're gonna go in the hole. Hole is gold. I could probably re-report this by now, right? Yeah. Dude over here on the dirt road is about to get a nice intercept. But yeah, whenever you have the updrafts in a tornado or any supercell storm, like the same piece of water droplet can move up and down like hundreds of times, and it can get upwards of like 30 to 40,000 plus feet, like all the way up until, so there's a cap in the atmosphere where precipitation, moisture cannot go, and it is, I want to say it's like 30 or 40,000 feet. I can't remember. It's up there. It is way up there. But once you hit that cap, that is like where your biggest hail is created, because that same hailstone has probably traveled, you know, hundreds of miles just in vertical acceleration, deceleration, up, down, left, right. It stays in the clouds, and then it just finally reaches a point where it cannot maintain its altitude anymore, just drops. Extreme weather is like, it's one of those things that tickle my tism. There we go. There's a good one-ism for me. Doing 30 mile per hour off-road. I don't think this thing could do that. Probably do need to find like an actual road. I'm so distracted talking about weather. Vroom, hello road. Aha. Did I get around this? There's no way I got around it. I somehow managed to get around this tornado in my rambling. Come here, little fella. Got a probe right over here. I don't play mobile games just because I don't really have a phone that would, I think did hook, didn't it? So I don't do mobile games though, just because my phone really can't handle like constant gaming. It's already struggling with making YouTube shorts. We might be in danger. I can't tell. I mean, I've considered getting like BlueStacks or something and building an emulation PC just for those kinds of games. But, I mean, there's been a few mobile games that I got into, but they were just more or less like needlessly clicky games. It's like cookie clickers back in the day. Something to kill a few hours. It's an Android. It's a, I think it's the 2024 model of the Moto E. Spec for spec, it's the exact same thing as like one of the Asus Zen phones, I believe. So where's everybody going here? Is this thing about to hit Bakersfield? Like, where it stands right now, though, is just really hard for me to justify getting into another kind of gaming. Like, I used to be big on, like, console gaming. So I was a big PlayStation user back in the day, and then I kind of made a slight switch to Xbox, and then once I found PC, that was it. Like, I finally built a PC worth gaming on, and I mean, really, I just can't justify it anymore playing console, just because a lot of what I do is production based now. And what I mean by that is, like, whenever I make a video, yeah. So he's got a Dominator. So this is actually a tornado tank. So this thing right here, the real life version, it has seen upwards of EF4 tornado wind speeds. This thing right here has probably been in like 50 direct hits from a tornado by now. The guy who drives it, he's a madman. Straight madman. He's a genius, don't get me wrong, but Reed Timmer is crazy. I'd eventually like to build something like that. I could have, but I try not to talk to too many people, just because I don't want to get a bad reputation in the community. Whenever I start talking to people, then sometimes I upsetty spaghetti people. Tornado warning where? Ah, a little south there. What's velocity signatures look like? I don't know, I think Bakersfield's about to kick back off. It's hard to say. I don't think I've played this scenario before. Like, whenever it's a new scenario especially, it's usually just straight chaos. Like, it's a straight up free-for-all. Okay, that's a sign. I thought it was a person. It's like, there's a proximity chat, and there's also a radio. So most of these people, they communicate through the radio. I only use proximity chat because it's easier. It's like one less key binding to learn. I can use the radio, but I would rather wait until I get somebody else that I personally know to play and jump in a Discord call like Reese. Here's another name that Jen knows. Eric. Shadow Snake is wanting to... He is curious about this game. Might buy it for him at some point and see what would happen if we put him in here. He's a fun one to game with. I think everybody is currently just waiting to see what these storms do here. Like, it kind of looks like this one down here is capable of producing, but... So that right there, compared to this right here, it's hard to tell what has more structure. So in that case, I jump over here, go to ML Cape. I think we need to go south. I think south might be the better option. Unfortunately, it's kind of far away. Ooh. Okay, here's another thing. We can use the winds down here. Winds here. Winds there. Okay, so that storm right there is actually producing something. So what is the best way to get down there? I am not. My gaming side of things is, it has a very little social media presence. So my Google account got hacked about 5 or 6 years ago, and whenever that happened, it compromised my Twitter, it compromised the Instagram. Like, I still don't have access to the Instagram. I completely deleted the Twitter account, but a specific website was created using those credentials. I ended up, one of them was linked to my bank account. I ended up losing, like, I think there's $350 that got taken out of my bank account before my bank finally registered that I was being hacked. So I've never went back and actually redone the socials. Okay, I probably should have turned there. But yeah, I lost a good bit of money while I was sleeping. And then my now ex woke me up beating the shit out of me. Telling me that why was I getting a notification that I spent $350 on a nefarious website. It was like, I was asleep. I was next to you. You were awake all night. How did I do that? It's a great way to wake up, by the way. 9 out of 10 would recommend. 6 out of 7 would recommend. So, all I can assume that there was like a subscription service or something that I was also using with this specific one, because this specific email used to be used for my actual Gmail storage. So at any time I'd make a phone and do anything on the Play Store, it would be that email. I have since changed it, so that cannot happen again. But also during that time, it was whenever the one, I forget what government agency he worked for. I think he was like the lead of the NSA or something. He was talking about like monitoring Twitter, and then Elon was talking about buying Twitter at the time, and this, that, and the other. I was just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna focus much on the social media side. I'd rather let my content speak for itself rather than just try to build this big mecca or whatever of pretty much just self-promotion. That's why whenever I say things like shamelessly self-plug, I mean it. Like, I never mean to shamelessly self-plug myself. So I'm trying to get down there. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a probe hit on this thing. This was before two-factor was commonly used. We got us a tornado though. Yeah, two-factor wasn't really commonly used back then, so like the first few websites were starting to use two-factor. Which I want to say at that time, I can, but I also can't. So there's a bunch of things that Google changed in the past few years where it limits things like how many YouTube accounts you can have, how many Gmails you can have associated with an IP address, how many times you can use the same recovery email, how many times you can use the same phone number. They've really limited on what you can do. So I'd actually have to get back into old accounts and start deleting stuff in order to even be able to remotely get registered to do like a new email or anything like that. I've managed a lot of YouTube channels. So I counted it up the other day due to certain circumstances. We might actually be in a good position here. It's hard to say if this thing's actually going to go south or if it's going to keep doing the curvy-wurvy here. We might actually get a probe hit on this. It's going slightly south, it seems. But yeah, I've created so many YouTube accounts and managed so many YouTube accounts, like, it's ridiculous. I want to say that whenever I counted the other day, I counted 10 accounts that I personally owned at one point or another. That could also be a thing too. Oh, took down a stop sign. And it dissipated. Darn. And the only other storm is way over there. What is Cape looking like? So I was right about the winds. So the winds were definitely in its favor there. But I think this scenario might be cooked. I didn't leave the storms. I went to one storm, but I got here kind of late and expected it to be on the ground a little bit longer. I mean, that's just how the game works too. Like that one was coming right at me, but literally it was like a block away. So it was here, I was here, dissipated about here. Just needed to stay on the ground a little bit longer. Let's doing that again. So we're gonna get our almost $8,000 there. I'm gonna try it one more time. We're at least gonna get to $600,000 by the end of this stream. So yeah, it's kind of common where you kind of run into a situation where you'll have like one or two good storms and then it just kind of falls apart. Or you'll have multiple storms going at one time, you just kind of pick the wrong one. Sometimes the radar kind of lies to you. Like you'll see like, so ML Cape, Cape is convective available potential energy. So it essentially tells you how much wind shear is in the atmosphere. And whenever you have a high Cape storm, that's whenever you get your strongest tornadoes, you get long track tornadoes. At least in real life, that's how it works. But here it's kind of hit or miss on how accurate it is. So Cape feeds storms. So if you have a high Cape area and there's a storm tracking along that area of the Cape, it'll usually intensify, it'll usually stay on the ground, but there's many factors that come into it. It's just one of the main general rules of storm chasing, or general pattern. Like I said, I might be on the spectrum. Or I just really, really like storm chasing. I don't know yet. If you stick around long enough, you'll come to learn that I like needlessly ramble at times. Just trying to trying to create content as I go. Last night was a completely different situation. That was like natural fuel for this dumpster fire of live streams. I definitely do need to get more people in these. I really need to build a team, because my ideal goal will probably use the a lot of like the special events, because soon in this game they're going to be half a server here, so probably going to be pretty much the same people. So there's something that they are adding where it's going to be projected forecast. I might have mentioned this yesterday. They're going to be trying to recreate forecasted weather models before they happen. And my ideal goal is to, one, get the TIV 2. Worst case scenario, if it's too expensive, you just go to the Dominator. Dominator's cool, seats 5 people. And it's pretty much going to do the exact same thing as the TIV. The TIV is just... So I've always been more of a fan of Reed Timmer whenever it comes to the whole Dominator versus TIV debate. If you look into like storm chasing intercept vehicles, that's going to be your two main ones. Of course, you got like the movie cars, like the, I forget what they call it, but the car from Twister, and then Twisters, and then there's the Titan, which I don't think the Titan's actually seen like real world storm chasing. It exists. Somebody actually built the car. They say it can handle it, but I just don't know. Where are we? All the way in Grassland Park. What are we thinking, people? Are we going to head all the way down to Fort City and St. John's? The Dominator appears to have a mind of its own. It appears we're going to have to. That is a long drive. But Cape is sufficient. So your oranges, your reds, your yellows, that's your stronger Cape. Do they actually have the graph? Okay. So pretty much anything above 1500 is sufficient for a stronger storm. But whenever you get up into these numbers, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Appreciate the red.
I'm gonna back into the Dominator.
Yeah, just take this all the way down.
It appears that everybody is going south. It appears to be ideal for a long track tornado, so we'll chase it. Oh yeah, I left it on Cape. Duh. Thought I was crashing for some reason. Like my hands were not moving as much on the steering wheel, and the screen was yellow. It threw me off. So I think we all have the same idea roughly, so I'm gonna follow these guys. Hey Crashy, what you doing back there? Whoa! See, now I'm talking to the people. I aren't saying anything back, but I'm talking to them. Neom. What happened? Everybody's over there. I feel as though the game is glitched. Okay, so we are technically in the firing line. Okay, everybody stopped here, so they might know something that I don't. I might go ahead and kind of, whoa, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit further into this system here. Oh, no, my left blinker is on. Turn my hazards on, why not? No, that's right blinker. Are you heading back this way? He tried to wreck me and it didn't work. I am going to need your insurance information, sir. I am going to need your insurance information. As you can see, my hazards were on. So I like to have a little bit of fun. I do the same thing in iRacing though. Well, we're officially in the severe thunderstorm warning, so maybe we are in a good spot. Hope I'm using the right mic. And just for you... Oh, there's not a... Okay, I'll have to find a different means of... Cool, it is the right mic. I'll have to find a different means of brightening the streams. So looking on velocity, there's currently what appears to be a velocity couplet over in Prairie Hills, so we might have something off of this storm. It is a high cape situation though. We're in like the 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram. Can you hear me now?
I want you to get butt-ass naked. Can you do that?
I didn't catch that.
I said I want you to get butt-ass naked.
You want me to get what?
I want you to get butt-ass naked.
Oh, sorry, you were talking in my bad ear. No, I am not getting naked, sir. This is a YouTube stream. This ain't an OnlyFans stream. Chaser convergence. It is good for views, but it is bad for my my YouTube standings. Look at me, I am Hale. This is a very, very hard, like I can't quite judge what we need to be doing. It almost looks like we need to be more towards grassland. This is the issue with learning a scenario. And it appears that the winds are...
Tell your chat to
Huh?
tell your chat to get naked.
Y'all heard him.
How many viewers you got?
I actually don't monitor the active viewers.
Are you able to check?
I probably could. It's just not accurate because I use OBS. I do monitor chat though.
What?
I do monitor my chat though, so I told them, and you kind of told them too.
Oh. How many subscribers do you have?
After 14 years, I finally topped 200.
That's a start, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, it's finally been like a steady growth, but I kept like, oh, I got my tunnel buddy in here. I'm gonna go after this tornado now. Later, nerd.
I'm gonna follow you.
Prairie Hills. This way. Yeah, tunnel buddy. You came in at a brain rot time. You know what's funny? I don't know if she's still in here, but Jen was here at one point. Yes. Yes, your Uber has been, he has a side job. Silly Goose Grunt Padre. So we got a tornado off over there somewhere. I hate the driving on mouse and keyboard, it's terrible. Okay, so where's my nadir? I'm getting close. Looks like I'm about to be directly in its path. And you know what? He still can't find Jill. Still can't find Jill. Oh, I see our nadir. Barely, but I see it. I monitor my chat. Chat says I can't come out and play. So, appears we need to get a little bit closer to it. Okay, I'm gonna try to get more over here, I think. Because it looks like it might actually sidewind. The way this is moving, this almost looks like a newer scenario. Try to get on the other side of it just so I know I'm safe. We are hitting 60-mile-an-hour winds, roughly, give or take. This might actually be a very good intercept. And it moved. Okay, so I completely missed that. I was not expecting an arc. Eric, we need to get you in here. Hey, he dropped down right next to me. That's funny. He's gonna be like, oh, you got... This thing is kind of elusive here. This is one of those scenarios that could possibly kill me. I take so much damage from hail, it's ridiculous. Like, it is honestly ridiculous. It's like I rolled a 0 for mana. Or, fuck. You know what I mean. I rolled a 1. So according to this, I'm in the path. It's my story, I'm sticking to it. What do you mean more environmental stuff? Oh, weather decks. Fortitude, that one. That one, thank you. Yeah, I definitely rolled a 1 on that one. I don't think I'm gonna get probe date off this. If I get probe date off this, I'm in danger. I might be in danger. Like, this thing is it's moving around a lot. Okay, so I got 380 feet. Yep, welcome to the Midwest. So this will probably be my last run for the night just because I've already been going at it for 2 hours and I've gotten like 2 kind of okay scenarios back to back. I think I'll probably start keeping the Outbrk stuff just to the weekly challenges for the time being anyways. Because this thing, it's going to be hard to re-intercept. Literally, the only choice would be to loop back around and maybe catch it on the other side of Prairie Hills. So 3,200 probe data. That's not bad. It's not terrible, but I think the most that I've ever gotten off of a single probe is like 12,000. I just know these are not going to be. I literally. Smack. Rack! You see it now. Us never leaving Firestone. Okay, so in a second I will actually show you the game mechanic. But yes, I turned them on myself. I turned them on earlier because some dude like drove head on into me. And I was just being funny. Told him that he had to give me his insurance information. Yes. Hopefully I have time. We're gonna get something off of this, that's for sure. Backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up! A little closer than I wanted to be. Just a touch closer than I want to be, 155 mile an hour there. Oh, I didn't even notice those guys were over there. No, it doesn't matter if you use them or not. Some people, if they want to really get like into it, they'll get the amber flashers. Yeah, right. Soviet Russia, storm chase you. Oh, but yes, this is how you control those. You hit G and then it's dragging on the mouse. Turn around, take the first left. What? No, I'm going this way. Why did I take the first left? How did a guy up there die? Oh, okay, okay. So, I mean, rain-wise, it's pretty realistic, but as for the clouds and whatnot right now, it's not that, not as realistic as it used to be. So there was an issue they had where during the 0.2 early access, they were, so the weather system, they're calling it Catalyst. At least that's my current, understanding of it. They're calling it the Catalyst system. So it's an actual weather generation model that they are using. Fog? Not so much fog as this is more or less debris and wind. I think I need to go a little further up the road here, I think. Yes, it gets very, very dark during some of these chases. Like one way it'll be... Oh, I missed my turn. I missed my turn. That's okay, we're about to get a direct hit. Yeah, this is a very, very strong tornado. So I was off by like 200, 300 feet, and it gave me 158 mile per hour wind speed. This is going to be a lot less off. Yes, it will 100% do that. Reese has been lofted once, or twice. There's actually a short of him getting lofted. It was pretty funny. I only survived because I stayed in the car. But yeah, with the catalyst weather system, essentially, so there is a big thing missing with these tornadoes. You see how it just pretty much goes up in the air? There used to be a horseshoe cloud and a whole wall cloud and everything like that. Damn hail. Like there used to be a whole, yes, always Reese. But there used to be a whole different system in place, and I don't know if it even shows it in the tutorial anymore. We're probably way off. I think it turned. But yeah, you can see I'm actually getting data. 700 feet, 600, 650. We're in the 500s now. Okay, it might have been getting closer than I thought. 119 mile an hour, 121, 127. It's still getting closer. You can see it at the bottom right. Waiting to see if these guys get lofted over here. I was off by a little bit. So what they meant is it stopped moving and then it kind of turned. So now I have to make a choice where to go. So I think I'm going to blast down this road. Now I didn't stall out. The tornado just kind of lost its forward momentum. Like it was still rotating, of course, but it just quit moving for a minute and then slightly changed direction. I got a 5,500 probe hit on that. That's not bad. I need that emergency alert to go away so I can see where my turn is. I think this is going to be on the ground for quite a ways. I think he's talking to somebody else as well. So I mean, between the storm reports, the pictures, and the probe data on this one, I think I'm looking at a roughly $10,000 chase. Maybe just shy. But it'll still put us in the $600,000 era. Didn't just dissipate, did it? Fuck that stop sign. So where do I need to be? Kind of looks like it's making a curve around here somewhere. What's funny is I'm pretty much exactly where I was yesterday whenever the game crashed. That right there, that's the road that I ran into. Oh, she took a turn. She took a big old turn. This storm is in Albuquerque. Might as well call me a mailman because I'm about to send it. Thank you, Padre. And downhill? I don't always have bad ideas, but when I do, it's usually on live streams. That thing hooked like due north. Also just realizing I only have like 40 gallons of gas, or 40% gas. So at this point, I think I'm just kind of SOL, and I just got to keep doing pictures just to make up my my failure here, my shortcoming. See headlights up there. Be cool to see somebody else get lofted by a tornado. Ah, it dissipated. Alright, so that is probably the end of this scenario here. If I had to guess. Unless it recycles. Yeah, if you're still here, Eric, the way that this works is there's like predetermined scenarios, but they're also working on adding in like randomized ones and special events and whatnot. Uh, yeah, they dialed back the weather system a lot. Like, a lot. So we used to have the wall clouds and the horseshoe clouds and everything like that, and you could actually report the wall clouds, get value on. If you actually go back to like old Jeff Aviano videos of him playing Outbreak for like the first and second time, that's a more accurate version of what we're about to be getting, for lack of a better term. Yeah. So it is dialed back to an extent. Like, if you see what I'm looking at now, and you go back and see like an old Jeff Aviano video of him playing this, like it's going to be a combination of both, for lack of a better way of explaining it. But they're also working on adding more types of tornadoes, so like the stronger tornadoes, they can actually become wedge tornadoes now. Like I showed you earlier how tall the tornado was. They shouldn't be that tall, but because there's no wall cloud for it to be surrounded by, they become super tall inadvertently. So everybody's now disconnecting. I got 22 grand off that. I'm okay with that. 15,000 off the probe data, so we're over 600,000 now. Highest wind speeds 154 off that one probe. Not bad, not bad. And we only made it to 55 degrees Celsius in this entire stream. So air cooler, good call. But yeah, they're about to be doing like a lot of crazy stuff with this game. I really wish that they would actually add the developer blog or the updates or whatnot. Got to make sure I'm not doxing myself. And really, all it shows is Digicam Creeper. Okay. Hotfix. Okay. So I can kind of show this off, I guess. So this is from the recent stuff where it says the in development Outbreak Forecaster. This is really cool. We'll let players chase real forecast scenarios in the future before they happen based on real model data. So they're going to be adding in a, basically you would, I don't know about that. But what they're going to actually be doing is they're actually going to be taking the Outbreak Forecaster, and by using the SPC data, photographs, jet stream patterns, things like that, they'll actually be able to kind of simulate what we'll be expecting in the real life future. Which means that we can chase storms that essentially are about to happen before they happen, and people will know what to expect. So this could technically be a training tool for real life storm chasers. What am I waiting for? That's pretty cool. They're adding the, I guess that's an F-250. It's either F-150, F-250, I can't tell, but they're adding a new truck. So this is what I'm talking about. So scenario resolution. So they're fine-tuning the clouds in order to rehash the old ones that already used the catalyst backbone on top of the scenarios added in after after 0.2. So going into 0.3, they added a bunch of scenarios. So they're going to be reworking those in order to work correctly. So we're actually going to get like structured clouds and whatnot. They're redoing the weather model data. So the radars are going to be a little bit different. So the couplets and everything like that, and of course the reflectivity, they're going to be more defined. They're going to be adding photographs, which I don't know how to read. They're cool, but I don't know how to read them. New tornadoes. Is this where they say it? Okay. The current focus is on final adjustments, small bug fixes, and integration into scenarios. Upgrading all existing scenarios to use the new tornado rendering will require a fairly complex conversion process, and some scenarios may need to be regenerated. While this adds additional work, it will result in significantly greater variety in tornado shape, size, and visual features across the board. So they're adding new tornadoes. Somewhere in here, they use the term, so that one, no. There's one of these that they actually talk about multiple vertices, which also kind of adds in the thing that they are definitely going to be doing wedge tornadoes. I think it might have been the January update. Chat callouts. So this is more of the high resolution cloud stuff, the Catalyst team. There it is. Work on the new tornado system is progressing very well. Most of the shader work is complete, and integration with the volumetric cloud shader is now underway, along with the first steps towards the new multi-vortex system. So that right there tells me that not only are we going to also be getting wedge tornadoes, but we're also going to be getting multiple vortex tornadoes, which means that probe data, some of the probe data might get a little wild. Like I'm talking 3 to 500 mile per hour winds if you were to catch something in a subvortex. The most I've seen so far is 278. Also, there's another thing I want to show. The TIV2. I believe that the TIV2 modeling is complete, is now starting the texturing stage. And this was back in December, I believe. November, okay. So that was the November outlook. And this is them just talking about finishing up the Catalyst rework. This is cool. They're going to be adding in some DIY armor and whatnot. Was there another thing about the... yes, this is more TIV2 stuff. I know they showed it at some point. So that was the interior modeling. I think this was back in like October, I think. So I know they officially announced it in April, if I remember correctly. That's June, April. So yeah, this is what I'm waiting for. It does not have wheels in this picture, but this is the TIV2. This is what I am waiting for. It is... I don't want to say it looks better than the Dominator 3, but I just like it more. It seems... I don't know. It seems more like a tornado tank if you ask me. But yeah, for where it stands right now, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, already starting to go off on tangents, rambling. We at least made our goal. We made it into the top 30 in the weekly challenge, so hopefully we are still, yeah. It's going to be a whole party. We're driving directly into a tornado, bud. Like, I might have to buy you this game. But yeah, we made it over $600,000. That's another thing I don't think I showed you yet. So, this is the Dominator 3. It is $1 million. Yeah, it's a tornado tank that can withstand a direct hit from a tornado if you are deployed properly. Yeah, you just came in right there whenever it started getting in the last scenario there. But yeah, compared to the Dominator, I think the TIV just looks better in my opinion, but it also, they both, one seats 4, one seats 5, so this one actually seats 5 people. I'm assuming that they're going to have different stats, which I would hope so. I mean, my magnitude is pretty nice, the acceleration kind of sucks, but yeah. You remember that video I sent you of the dude who got hit directly by a tornado? They spun around at like a 720 and then they look at each other and go, "Whoa!" That's what they were driving. That's what they were driving. That was Reed Timmer. This vehicle right here has taken multiple direct hits from tornadoes. But yeah, ultimate goal is I want to have somebody in an intercept vehicle, have multiple people at least, just so one, they can get their content, they can get their pro pits and everything, but also so we can like do a little bit of role play and whatnot. But I want to have somebody either in this car or this car that can actually chase off-road, so they would be more or less the point whore than anything else, because just being able to drive off-road consistently, or even I think the altitude is actually decent off-road too. I got to do some research on that. But then we'd have one almost like a recon slash attack vehicle, which I'd probably leave that to Reese because he likes to party. He likes to party. And then I do like the Vanguard and the Tornado Tours, but I also accepted an altitude in this place as well. But having like a vehicle that we could have kind of follow the convoy. I mean, they would be more like picture and storm report based, but one that would help us be able to get better intercepts. We'd be able to properly track the tornadoes, because for some reason, whenever I make a report, I don't see my updates, but when other people make reports, I see their updates on the map. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if they kind of broke the map or something. But yeah, this would also be a cool thing to have, just being able to, does it tell me how many people it seats? It does not. I'll have to look into that. The Upchuck Express. Yeah, I'd want to do some role play, but I also want to be able to like something like the Vanguard or something like this. If somebody's just fresh into the game, we can kind of help them dabble their toes and kind of teach them as we go. Yeah, give them their bearings so they can do it on their own. But if we also run into somebody who just wants to party, Tornado Tank. But yeah, where it stands right now, I want to see if I've dropped down the leaderboard yet. I would assume that I've dropped at least one spot by now, but no, still 28th. Still 28th. So we're still in the top 25 percentile. We're still in the top 10%. Okay, okay. Looking at $103,000. Nifty. But yeah, so where it stands right now, I think this was a successful stream in its purpose. Computer's no longer overheating. My room is not hot. Like, no, that's not my character. I promise you that's not my character. No, my character is not Jill. No, she looks like Jill. That's just the customization screen. That's my character. Yeah, we made it over $600,000. Whenever we get paid for the weekly challenge, we should be pushing 700K. Got a couple good intercepts. Got on the leaderboard. We're in the top 30. Yeah. Yeah, it threw me off the first time I saw it too. Like that's why whenever you said that, I knew exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, ultimate goal of tonight's stream, one, I got redemption from last night's game crash, because that was a fustercluck. And I have also stress tested my computer, going from a old ass water cooler to a brand new air cooler. And my room is not blistering hot. I think we're still like, in like the 75, 74 degree range now in the room. Yeah, last night whenever I quit stream, it was literally 83 degrees in here. Like I can't even lie. It was low 80s in my room. The AC's at 72. I'm gonna put my hand over the fan. It's not even warm. It's not even warm, Eric. My computer is still ambient temperature. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Think everything went roughly according to plan. Yeah, we had some fumbles there, but yeah, I gotta prepare myself tomorrow for a long grind of iRacing because I don't know what we're running or anything. I wanted to knock out 1 or 2 races today, but one I had to install my cooler, which just assembling and disassembling my computer in order to get to that point. It's already like an hour and a half, 2 hour process in itself because of how many damn USBs I got. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Hope y'all had fun. Make sure you leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see more. Bell icon if you want to see when I'm streaming again, because I'm trying to get myself back to where I'm streaming at least once every other week. 2 in 1 weekend, that's unheard of, except for when I first started streaming. But yeah, gotta end it here. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one. It's been Creeper. Later on.